Yo, we up in the ring, breaking news with a jab. Ringside ramble, got the stories you grab. Video clips, front row, you won't miss the brawl. Big hits, KOs, we got it all.
Welcome back to Ringside Ramble. It's me, Niall, here bringing you all the latest news, views, and breakdowns from around the world of professional boxing. In this video, I'm going to be giving my preview and prediction for a very intriguing clash in Birmingham this Saturday, one I'm really looking forward to as the hot prospect, the unbeaten Cameron Vuong, makes a big step up, the biggest step up of his young career to date as he faces the former British, Commonwealth, and European lightweight champion Gavin Gwynne. Of course, this one on the undercard for another huge domestic clash in the main event as former world champion Sonny Edwards takes on the phenomenal amateur Galal Yafai at the Resorts World Arena. So, yeah, between the main event and this fight we're about to discuss, it's going to be a special night in Birmingham. I can't wait for it, to be honest with you. But before we get into today's video, please, I'd really appreciate it if you could subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you enjoy my content, give this video a like, share it if you enjoy it, get involved in the comments. Always grateful for people engaging below in the comments of what they think. So yeah, like, share, subscribe, follow us on X, all that good stuff. I'd be so grateful. So yeah, thanks a lot. And let's get into today's video. Cameron Vaughan, Gavin Gwynne, fascinating step up here for Cameron Vaughan. 6-0. Looked the part so far. He's a flashy, young, confident fighter. A lot of people almost wish kind of a downfall or a reality check for these type of fighters, but he's done what's asked of him so far. As I say, he's flashy. He's quite explosive. Power, the jury's still out on his punching power, but he's still learning. He's still a young fighter. Very reflexive, relies on that upper body movement, that slickness, defensive slickness. But yeah, he's still young. He's fought some kind of okay names for just being a 6-0 fighter. Within his six fights, he's beat Jeff Afori. Jeff Afori gave him a few problems in that one, to be honest with you. It gave Vong a few problems, but I'm reluctant to be too critical of him that he's so young and such a kind of a novice pro. To date, he beat Joe Underwood Hughes last time out, which was a decent win for that stage of his career. So, yeah, he looks the part, Cameron Vaughn. He really does. A lot of people think highly of him, think he's going to go far, and they obviously believe that he's up to it if they're putting him in with Gavin Gwynne at 6-0. Gavin Gwynne is a big step up here for Vaughn. He really is. Say what you want about Gavin Gwynne, whether he's on the downside of his career, he's too old, or you don't particularly rate him. But Gavin Green has been there and done it. I mentioned in the intro, British champion, Commonwealth champion, European champion. Some of the names that he shared a ring with, Joe Cordina. Some of the names he's beaten, Sean McComb. He beat Sean McComb back in 2021, I believe it was. It broke my heart as an Irishman. McComb was unbeaten at the time. And Sean McComb was an absolute nightmare for anybody to fight. Such an awkward fighter, big, rangy, slick, fast hands, awkward, slippery. He's such an awkward opponent to fight. And he proved, that win for Gavin Green aged brilliantly with Sean McComb's last performance. We all saw what happened, where he stepped up to kind of face a world-class fighter in Arnold Barboza Jr. and he boxed rings around him. He was on the wrong side of a very, very bad decision, a robbery in that fight. But Sean McComb proved that night what he was all about, and Gavin Green beat Sean McComb fair and square, stopped him. So, that proves how good Gavin Green is, and he's just so much more experienced, so much more battle hardened than Cameron Vaughn is. As I mentioned, he shared the ring with the likes of Joe Cardini. He was beaten by James Tennyson, no shame in that. James Tennyson was on the form of his career at that point. He was knocking out everybody and a huge puncher, also an Irishman like myself. But yeah, James Tennyson, he fought for the European title against Emiliano Marsili. Got a lot of flack for that one, probably rightly so. It was a very poor performance, and Marsili, an interesting character, 47 years old at the time. He was a good fighter. I think a lot of people took the mick out of Gavin Gwynne for that with how old Marsili was. But Marsili's a good fighter, but Gavin Gwynne did not look good that night. Um, he didn't. He was soundly beaten in most people's eyes, but due to an injury to Marsili, it went to the cards, and Gavin Gwynne somehow got the decision, which I didn't agree with, to be honest with you. I think it was a really poor decision, and most people do who watched that fight that night thought the Italian deserved the nod in that one. But yeah, Gavin Gwynne got it done, European champion. Fought Mark Chamberlain, of course, last time out in Saudi Arabia. Mark Chamberlain beat him up badly and stopped him. Again, no real shame in that. Mark Chamberlain, a very, very good fighter in his own right. So, yeah, he's been in the ring with much, much better fighters than Cameron Vuong has proved himself to be. Just yeah, he really has, and he's registered good wins against the likes of Sean McComb. He's just so much more proven. So this is going to be a fascinating step up for Cameron Vuong here. It's it's either sink or swim. It's sink or swim time this early. If he loses to Gavin Gwynne, a lot of people, as I mentioned, rightly think Gavin Green's on the downside of his career. So if he was to lose to a 34-year-old, slowed down past his best Gavin Green, it will be a long way back for Cameron Vaughn already, as young as he is. So it's going to be fascinating to see how he deals with it. You know, Gavin Green will ask him questions. He really will ask him questions. So if he does, and Cameron Vaughn doesn't look the best here, it's no knock on Vaughn. It's about how he deals with the questions that are asked of him. How does he deal with the more experienced Green, the bigger Green, of course, big, tall for the weight, rangy. Doesn't always fight to his kind of range, like very kind of technical in how he goes about things, but behind a high guard, gloves up, cupped gloves over the head, puts his head on your head and fancies a war, up close, which is strange for a fighter of his dimensions, but it's been effective for him. He doesn't kind of use his size advantage, but yeah, it'd be very interesting to see if he can rough up Cameron Vaughn here. That's what he has to do, to be honest, to win this fight, breaking down the fight stylistically. He has to get up close. He has to bully Vaughn. He has to you know, prove that he's way more experienced and give Cameron Vaughn that gut check. Don't try to outbox him. You're not going to be able to outbox him. He's too slick. He's too fast. He's too flashy. He's too young. You have to get on his chest and rip away to the head and body. Which I think he probably will do early. As I said, I think he'll ask him those questions early. Cameron Vaughn is still very inexperienced, still learning, hittable. He is hittable. It's not like he's this elusive type of Roy Jones character. He does hold the hands low and relies on a lot of upper body movement, but he has been tagged by the likes of Joe Underwood, Hughes or Jeff Afori. So if they can hit him, Gavin Green can definitely hit him. But what it comes down to for me is Gavin Green doesn't really have the power, first of all, to kind of put a dent in Cameron Vaughn. He's not a big puncher, 5 KOs and 17 fights, doesn't really kind of, he's not a spiteful puncher. He doesn't turn him, so, he doesn't sit into his shots. He's very good technically, but yeah, he doesn't have that kind of spiteful power. So I don't think he's gonna have the kind of menace in his shots to put a dent in Vaughn or hurt him or really get his attention to stop him. And also he is, what does Gavin Green have left there? I don't think he has much left at all, to kind of register a win of this magnitude. He's 34, he's slowed down, he's had a long career, so it's understandable, but I don't think he has much left. So I think the longer it goes, the more it will favour Cameron Vaughn. It definitely will, but I think early on it's going to be interesting with Gwynne using his experience, using his size, getting up close, coming in behind that high guard and clubbing away at the body and the head of Cameron Vaughn. It's just how, can he keep it going? Can he sustain that pressure on him for, the full distance to get the win? I don't think so. I'm gonna go with Cameron Vaughn here. It's a safe shout, but I'm gonna go with a decisive points victory for Cameron Vaughn as he takes control of this fight down the stretch. I think his youthfulness, his kind of his freshness will be telling. against an aging Gavin Gwynne. I really do. So I'm going Cameron Vuong here, but I think he's going to have to ask himself a lot of questions, and we're going to find out a lot about Vuong in this fight. As I say, if he looks underwhelming, first of all, there's no shame in that. It's about how he adjusts, about how he overcomes, and the win. The win is the most important thing at this stage. So yeah, I'm going for a Cameron Vaughn win decisively. Maybe don't know 117, 111. Is that being a bit too harsh? The Gavin Green 116, 112 type of range. I think that's where he gets it done. But I think yeah, down the stretch he really started to take control of it, and it'll be I don't know, is it too significant of a term, but a passing of the torch fight, the new guard coming in, proving that the old guard can't stick with them anymore. So, yeah, that's what I'm going for. Cameron Vaughn, points win this Saturday night in Birmingham in a really intriguing step up for him as he faces the former British Commonwealth and European lightweight champion Gavin Gwynne, the experienced Welshman on the undercard of Edwards and Yafai. Former world champion Sonny Edwards, facing a fascinating clash of his own against Galal Yafai. So it's going to be a really interesting night of boxing at the Resorts World Arena in Birmingham. I cannot wait for it personally. So yeah, that's my preview and prediction for Vong against Gwynne. Let us know what you think in the comments. Get involved. Am I being too harsh to Gavin Gwynne? Am I giving Gwynne too much of a chance here early on? Let us know. Do you think it'll be even easier win for Cameron Vaughn? Let us know what you think in the comments. Are you Team Gwynne? Are you going for a win? Let us know what you think. Get involved down below. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Please subscribe to the channel if you enjoy my content. I'd really appreciate it. Follow us over on X. Always great content to engage with there, So like, subscribe, give us a follow, all that good stuff. I'd be so grateful. And until next time, speak again and take care.